Hi everyone, once again welcome to We Review. Today I just want to share with you one of the cheapest headphone I found on Lazada with ANC enabled for under 50 ringgit, the Magus 600B. Let's get into it. Alright, before we go into the spec of the headphone, just a quick backstory on how I found out about the Magus 600B. Just like everyone else, we spend most of our time now at home due to the current pandemic, and we do a lot of our shoppings online too. And so one of my go-to platforms for online shopping is actually Lazada. And as you know, every month there will be a date in which there will be a huge sale going on. And this is when I found out about the Magus 600B. So what happened was, this keeps showing up in my recommended list, and as I was looking at it, I thought, hey, for under 50 ringgit, there is an ANC enabled headphone. When I click on the link, to my surprise, not only was this headphone selling well, in fact, it garnered a lot of positive feedback. And at such a low price, I'm just too curious not to get one for myself to try it out. And lo and behold, this is an interesting find indeed. So I actually got this headphone for about 40 ringgit inclusive of shipping because it was on sale. But even on normal days, the website lists this headphone to be selling for about 50 odd ringgit. That being said, if you really want to get the best bargain, I would recommend you to wait for one of those sales to launch, and you will find this at around the price that I purchased, 30 odd ringgit for the headphone and another 5 to 10 ringgit for shipping fees. What is interesting about this headphone is, even though there's a lot of budget headphones available at this price range, none of them offer active noise cancelling. And even though this headphone does not have wireless features, it is still a good buy considering that this is an ANC enabled headphone. Alright, first let's look at what's inside the box. To be frank, I was quite surprised when I received the parcel. I've never seen such a well packaged headphone in such a low price. Once you open up the box, you can see that everything that is required for the headphone is included, except for the charger. You have a really nice carrying case. Along with it, you have the charging cable, the cable of the headphone along with a mic attachment, and also a microfiber cloth for wiping, along with the nitty-gritty such as the manual. I like the fact that this headphone comes with some metal parts. This is different compared to most of the budget headphone you find, which is all completely made of plastic. More so because of that, the headphone feels a bit more premium due to the build quality. The adjustable part of this headphone are made of metal, so as you're adjusting this to the size of your head, you can follow along with the clicks to ensure that you will reach the preferred sizing for your head. For me, with regards to comfort and fit, it is great and I have no issue wearing it for long hours. The padding on the ear cuffs are nice and soft, and even though the padding on top of the headband is a bit thin, the clamping force of the headphone itself helps to negate some of the pressure on the top of my head as I'm wearing it. Again, I can easily go through an entire day wearing this headphone with no issue at all. Now, let's talk about the battery life. The Magus 600B is rated for 40 hours of use with ANC on. That means you can easily go through an entire day without having to recharge your headphone. I have not truly tested the number of hours and whether the claim of the 40 hours is true, but I could safely say that I've used the headphone for an entire day without having to recharge it at all. All I need to do is to have it charged overnight at the end of the day, and I'm good to go the next day with another full charge. One caveat to this practice is that in the manual itself, it is actually recommended that you do not overcharge the headphone, as that will degrade the battery life. As for me, I have no issue with it, as I usually use a power bank to charge the headphone, and the power bank auto cuts off whenever the charge is full. If you intend to use this headphone without the ANC switched on, I think you will be a bit disappointed with how it sounds. Somehow, the headphone just sounds muffled with all the frequencies somewhat mashed together. That is why I would highly recommend you to use this headphone only with ANC enabled, as this will drastically change the sound quality of the headphone. You can expect the Magus 600B to be similar to headphones at its price range. The sound signature is V-shaped, which caters for most of the consumer out there. That being said, the bass are nice and thumpy, and the highs are somewhat clear and defined. As for my own sound preference, I do find the highs to be a bit too much for my own liking, but nothing that can't be fixed with a bit of EQ. One thing to note is that the ANC feature of this headphone is not as powerful as what is being offered out there. But that being said, all the other offerings out there are also somewhat more expensive than what is being priced here. So I would say it really depends on the budget that you have, whether you would want to spend it on having an ANC featured headphone or you would spend it on a wireless budget headphone. In this day and age, wireless headphone is probably the way to go forward. Unless you're an audiophile or sound quality is absolutely critical for you, I see no reason why you would want to go along with a wired headphone. With that in mind, I still think that this headphone is a good buy, especially if you're on a budget and your usage is mostly confined to being on a desk at home or in the office. For the price of less than 50 ringgit or $20, it's almost a no-brainer to have an extra headphone lying around in the case where your other headphones are not available. One thing to note when purchasing this headphone is that the seller specifically mentioned that the headphone has been kept in his warehouse for a period of time, which means some parts or accessories of this headphone may appear to be a bit worn or used. So yeah, if you're intending to make the purchase, I would recommend you to check the headphone itself to ensure that everything looks alright. I can forego the rest of the accessory looking a bit old or worn out, but if the headphone is in good condition, it is good enough. That wraps up for the review of the Magus 600B, the cheapest ANC enabled headphone I find available anywhere. If you like what you saw, and for more similar content in the future, do give us a like and subscribe to our channel as that will help the channel greatly. Thank you so much for joining us and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!